Gwynaeth McIntyre, welcome. Good to see you. Now, what do you do at the museum?
I'm actually a lecturer at the University of Otago in the Department of Classics.
So you've strayed over here.
I've strayed over here. My connection to the museum is actually that the museum houses our classics teaching collection. So we have a number of artifacts that we use in our classes that are all housed here.
They're housed here, but do you take them to class?
No, we don't. We bring the students here and
of course.
allow them to look around in the gallery, that we can rent out space here for the smaller classes and do more one-on-one or hands-on material as well.
So what is your background in this sort of thing?
My background is I'm a Roman historian who's interested in politics and religion, but also myth. And
in Roman politics and religion in particular, or in general?
Roman, but I do a lot with Greek myth and Greek religion as well. So it's a bit of mix, and especially how the Romans are looking at Greek myth and using Greek myth for their own purposes.
And so that's involved with Otago University?
It is, yes.
Yes, you will forgive me for being quite surprised. It's a long way.
It is a long way.
From Roman times. And,
it is a long way.
And indeed from the place. Well, this piece of pottery.
Yes.
Pottery is rather a crude expression, but there you are.
It is, it is.
Tell us about it.
So this pot is what we call black figure. As you'll notice, the main figures are rendered in black. It's a slip that is put on the pot before it's fired, and then as it goes through the firing process, those figures become black. But you may also notice on the front here that we have Athena on the left side, who is depicted in white. And this is very common for this style of pot, that female figures are depicted in a white glaze, and then also some red markings on clothing and things. So this is the Greek goddess Athena. So maybe I'll just talk about the three figures on that pot. Hopefully you will recognize the main figure there is Heracles. He is most commonly depicted with his lion skin. That's the Nemean lion who he defeats in the first of his labors. So he's pretty easy to pick out in pottery.
So we would think of him as Hercules, the labors of Hercules, or Heracles.
You would. So it's Hercules in Roman myth and Heracles in the Greek myth.
Quite complicated.
It is complicated.
For an Otago boy.
Yeah, it's fine. And the interesting thing about this pot is most of the time when we see Heracles or Hercules, he is depicted doing the labors or with some monster. Here he's depicted playing a kithara, which is a musical instrument, and we don't normally associate Heracles
I'm not allowed to touch him,
with the arts.
I can't see him. Is it a stringed instrument?
It is a stringed instrument there. And ironically, he is also known for having killed his instructor of music, Linus, because
lots of people wish they had, I'm sure.
This is the thing, is because he was overly critical of his playing.
Oh, yeah. Sensitive soul. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So he's depicted in the center there, and then on the other side of him is the god Hermes. So we have two gods flanking the figure of Heracles.
And this, you were saying before we came on camera, that I said that's not an amphora, just showing my ignorance, but it is.
It is an amphora. So this is a necked amphora that they are used generally as storage jars. Amphora are storage jars. The ones that people usually think about when they think amphora are the huge ones that are used in shipping that we find in shipwrecks.
With olive oil and wine, etc.
Exactly, with the big bottoms and the rounded bottoms. So this type of amphora is commonly used actually as a prize for games and things like that, but also for storage. And in this case, and as with most of our painted pots, they are used in funerary contexts. So they'll be in burials as a display of wealth. And that's why, as much as you were joking that the repair on this is a bit crude, you can see where the breaks are. The reason why we have a lot of these vessels in the condition that we have them in is because they've been found in burials.
Yes.
So this was likely a grave good.
Would they have some sort of offerings in them as grave goods, or would they have the ashes in them? What would they have?
We do have archaeological remains in some. In one like this, of this size, this is likely just an offering vessel.
To take into the next life, as it were.
Kind of, or more actually to display wealth to the people in this life as well. So it's not quite in the same extent as the Egyptians, where they would use those objects in the afterlife. This is more of a display for the people visiting the tomb regularly.
In terms of quality,
Yes.
how does it rate?
This is actually a very, very nice piece with quite good quality. You can see the etching and just the skill of the painter in the different colors and the way in which he's chosen to depict things like Athena's cloak. So she wears an aegis, is what it's called, and you can actually see the scales on that aegis in quite good detail.
Ah, wonderful. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.